All right, welcome everyone. So today, we're not just going to retell one of the most famous fables ever told. We're going to break it down piece by piece. We're going to look under the hood, to really understand the narrative engine that makes The Hare and the Tortoise so incredibly timeless. Okay, let's dive right in.
Everything, and I mean everything, in this story kicks off right here, with this one boast from the hare. I am the fastest animal in the entire forest. Now, this isn't just a throwaway line. It's the spark that lights the whole fire. It establishes the central conflict of the story before a race has even been mentioned.
So, let's set the stage a bit. This is our first act, the exposition. It's all about meeting our two main players and getting a feel for the social dynamics of this particular forest.
And this slide, it pretty much sums up the hare, doesn't it? He's not just fast. His entire personality is built around being the fastest. And his constant bragging, well, it's creating this real tension, this imbalance in their world. You can just feel that the other animals are completely fed up, which of course creates the perfect opening for a challenger to step up.
Okay, now here we see the real heart of the narrative. The hare and the tortoise are what you'd call perfect foils. Every single quality the hare has is mirrored by its complete opposite in the tortoise. We're talking fast versus slow, arrogant versus wise. This kind of setup is a classic storytelling trick because it just instantly creates conflict and drama. It guarantees a compelling story from the get-go.
So, let's move on to the rising action. This is where the story really starts to pick up speed. All that tension that's been building, it's about to be unleashed by a challenge that absolutely nobody saw coming.
And here she is. While all the other animals are just grumbling and complaining, the tortoise actually takes action. She tells them, "Don't worry, my friends, I'll take care of it." Just listen to the quiet confidence in that line. She's not shouting, she's not boasting. She just calmly decides that, someone needs to teach this hare a lesson, and it's gonna be her.
And boom, this is the moment it all becomes real. The tortoise doesn't just sit around wishing for things to change. She walks right up to the source of the problem and lays down a direct challenge. And she frames it perfectly. Let's stop all the talking about who's fastest. Let's actually find out.
The hare's reaction is, well, it's exactly what you'd expect. He just scoffs. You against me? A race? You have to be joking, right? I mean, you can almost hear his mocking laughter echoing through the forest. He literally cannot wrap his head around this challenge being serious. This moment right here is a perfect snapshot of his pride, his hubris. He's already lost the race in his own mind because he has zero respect for his opponent.
Just look at the contrast at the starting line. It's night and day. The tortoise, she's there early, she's prepared, she's focused. The hare, he strolls in late, arrogant, and is literally snacking on a carrot. It's amazing. And once the race starts, their approaches couldn't be more different. The hare is all about that explosive, raw talent, while the tortoise, well, she's relying on something else entirely, a steady, unbreakable pace.
And now, we've made it. We're at the climax. This is the absolute heart of the story, that one single moment where a single decision changes absolutely everything. The hare is so far ahead, victory just seems like a sure thing. And right there, in that moment of certainty, he makes his fatal mistake. He thinks to himself, "I'll just sit under this tree and take a little nap." He's so convinced that his natural talent is so great that putting in any more effort is just pointless.
This one move, the nap, that's the turning point of the entire fable. It's his arrogance made real. He doesn't just stop running, he literally falls asleep on the job.
And this is the real climax. It's not some dramatic, action-packed photo finish. It's this quiet, powerful moment where simple consistency overtakes flashy talent. The tortoise doesn't speed up or do anything fancy, she just doesn't stop. And by simply continuing on her path, she passes the sleeping hare and basically seals her victory.
So, with the race pretty much decided, let's take a look at the falling action, the immediate aftermath and the consequences of the hare's massive mistake.
When the hare finally wakes up, his arrogance is still fully intact. He looks around, doesn't see the tortoise, and just assumes she must have given up. I mean, he can't even imagine she could be ahead of him. So he just casually strolls towards the finish line, completely clueless that his world is about to be turned completely upside down. And here it is, a total reversal of fortune. The tortoise, the one everyone mocked, is now a hero, being celebrated by the whole forest. And the hare, who was always the center of attention, is now totally alone with his shock and his shame.
The entire social order of the forest has been completely rewritten in a single afternoon.
And that brings us to the end, the denouement. This is the resolution where the moral of the story becomes crystal clear.
The tortoise explains it perfectly herself. She says, "I didn't win because I was faster, but because I was wiser and more consistent." See, it was never about speed, it was about strategy. She won because she understood the nature of the race and her opponent way better than he understood himself.
And this right here brings us to the core virtue of the whole story: consistency. The fable really puts this idea on a pedestal. It's not just slow and steady wins the race. It's something bigger. It's that focused, persistent, regular effort can overcome a massive gap in talent.
And the story ends with a real resolution. The hare doesn't just lose, he actually learns something. He understands his own flaw and changes his behavior, which completes his character arc. That social imbalance he created is gone, and a new, healthier balance is established in the forest.
And that really brings us to the final question for you. I mean, we all have moments where we want to be the fast, talented hare, right? But what about the other side? In your projects, your goals, your life, when is it actually better to forget about talent and just be the tortoise? It's definitely something to think about.